I feel like we need some ominous music of some kind, you know, like dun 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 dun.
Where did the Christmas tree go?
Where did this year go?
I know.
Because it is now officially the end of 2019.
Dude, this is the last one we're doing this year.
Yeah.
It is currently the 27th of December, and the next time we do this,
yes,
it's going to be a new year.
It's going to be a new decade.
Oh,
so whenever you hear whenever you hear about people talking, the 1920s, this will be our generation's 20s. So I'm fascinated to see what the next 10 years is going to bring, but we have a hell of a lot of things to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
In the pop culture, movies, TV shows, and gaming realm. In terms of life, though, fuck that. I mean, life will be fine, but, you know, politics and all that kind of shit, fucking
You know what's crazy?
That,
Next week I get to say to you, you're getting married this year.
Well, today, being the 27th, is 1 year anniversary of being engaged. So
congratulations
to me.
Yeah. Jeez, it's all about Dylan.
It is. Anyway.
And Taylor.
Yeah.
But I normally put a clever little clue here to match what number episode it is, but fuck that because it's 2C3 Pod, episode goddamn 50. We made it.
I mean, we're still not getting paid, but we made
it. We didn't make it, but we made it?
Yeah. Got a quote for me?
Yes, I do.
Or trivia.
What are you looking at? Oh, the silent majesty of a winter's morn, the clean, cool chill of the holiday air, an arsehole in his bathrobe emptying a chemical toilet into my sewer. Shitter was full.
Nah.
It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Right.
I told you at the beginning of the week that they were all going to be Christmas related.
Yeah.
We covered it in our Christmas special. Make sure you've checked that out.
I just remember I think it was the Vacation remake where he was like trying to siphon fuel or something, but it turns out it'd be the sewer and they're all surrounding him to watch and it just explodes into the air.
Exactly.
So I knew it had some relation to that, but for the movie.
But while I can, I wore the Christmas shirt one more time, but also congratulations to our winners from Wednesday's Christmas episode. We hope you all had a lovely holiday.
Yep.
And today we have our usual Friday spiel for you, but unfortunately, there's no trailer park this week. We have bumped it to next week for a double trailer park.
Absolutely. It's going to be stacked.
We're still hitting you with the Arsehole Pass, but we wanted to hit you at the middle section of the episode with our favorite films that we saw in theaters this year.
Yes.
So that's exciting. So I'm excited for today. It's going to be a good one. Well. And not only that, GS-fucking-T!
Yeah.
Get slightly tanked, motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Cheers to your empty glass. Would you like a Summersby?
I'll have a Summersby, please.
Yes, you will.
Yes, thank you. My glass is empty because I've had quite a few over the last little while, considering it's the end of the decade and all. It's really weird to think that. I know I've talked about it quite a lot, but let's have a cheers because 2019 was a big year for us in terms of the podcasting realm. We started this podcast in 2019, April 2019. We did have a former co-host, but now it's just the two of us. So Two's Company, Two's a podcast technically.
No, Two's Company, Three's a podcast, and
you're the podcast.
You are the podcast. Come on,
you said Two's Company, Three's the podcast, and you're the podcast.
Yeah, I no, not just then.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said
go back and listen to it.
You
go back and listen to it.
I will. I have to edit it.
Yeah, but anyway,
no, but either way, yes. As in, we started this. Like you brought it to myself and our former co-host attention, and just that sounds like fun, and that didn't work out, unfortunately, with our previous co-host. But, I mean, dude, we've done 43 of these fuckers.
Yeah, on our own. Yeah.
Dude, you think about that, minimum at least an hour an episode.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we've spent like 48 hours together
in this fucking room
right now, looking at each other going, man, I don't like him.
But we've got the camera, we've got YouTube up and going. I think by this episode's being released, we may have hit 3,000 downloads across Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of those areas.
Well, I know it doesn't count to the downloads, but YouTube is
nice
below.
To say, but so I'm very much looking forward to what 2020 has in store for everybody, including the podcast. As we said, yeah, I'm getting fucking married next year.
I know, man.
I can't wait for that to be over because I literally dream about it. Like I don't dream often.
Yeah.
I used to, as a kid, I had a very imaginative mind. You know, I was all about movies and TV shows and drawings and artwork and things like that. I had a very photographic memory and a very imaginative mind.
Yes.
Not so much when you get older, it obviously slips away.
No, exactly. It's more about just passing the fuck out and going to bed.
Yeah. But now, like, my dreams have literally been different situations, quirky situations on the day.
Oh.
There was a particular dream I had. Okay, so when you get married, right, ladies and gentlemen.
I love this episode
it's
already,
Friday. Man. Like, the groom... the timer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck it.
We'll wing it. I was going to say, what was I saying? Yeah, so the groom and his groomsmen stand there and then the bride walks down the aisle. Yeah. One of the dreams I had, we were in like this big rustic sort of hotel, kind of like our mate Jono's place, wedding. It was similar to that.
Yes.
And the bride and her bridesmaids were waiting there, and I walked down the aisle myself, like arms up, being like, "It's me, motherfuckers!"
My God.
It was
fuck yes.
It was such a wank. It was so weird.
Oh man, I just imagine you coming out like a John Cena, like all of a sudden Exit for Freedom plays. Exit for Freedom plays. These boys, and then you burst through, and you're like,
yeah. So that was my dream. I've had a few of them.
Make it happen. You've had it as a dream, turn it to a reality.
It'll be very unconventional.
Tell Taylor, I'm sorry. Wait for me. But either way, yes, it's been an incredible year. We'll cheers properly one more. Have a quick drink. Delicious apple sugar.
Absolutely.
So it's been an incredible year, so that's why we bumped Trailer Park to next week. We're going to hit you with our favourite films that we saw in the theatres. We saw most of them together as well, which is like impressive. Like
since the podcast began.
Exactly, that's right. Like I believe it was episode 8 or 9 where we actually
we started seeing films.
It was Crawl.
It was Crawl.
Was our first one that we saw together in theaters, and that's where I was like, "Hey, what about TCTP DTCR?"
That's right.
And you're like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, "Does the cinema?" And you're like, "Yes."
Do you remember?
It's an excuse to go to the movies.
It is episode, and that's the thing. Like that's what makes this podcast work so well is that we can go to the movies every weekend and still enjoy ourselves.
Exactly.
It's a pity though that this year has been a strange. Looking back on our list of favourite movies that we've seen at the cinemas this year, it's been a strange year for cinema because there has been some great ones and there has been some less memorable ones. Yeah. And that's not just because we've... Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was like, ooh.
That's not because we see movies every weekend and we forget about them. It's simply because there hasn't been some good ones. But I think we're ending the year in a very strange place too because let's get it kicked off with...
All right.
It's time for YASSS or Pass, excited or blinded.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for your favourite segment of the week, YASSS or Pass, excited or blinded, where we review the films coming to theatres this weekend. So if you haven't planned your weekend and you're thinking, I might go to the movies, well, we're about to tell you what's coming. Yeah. Maybe we can steer you in the right direction.
Absolutely. Now, this is the Boxing Day edition, of course, because Christmas was yesterday. Hope you all had a great day and hope you're enjoying your Boxing Day.
Boxing Day was yesterday, Dylan.
Is it?
Yes. Boxing Day was yesterday. Sorry. That's right. Yeah, mate. It's all right. Crazy time of year.
It's right. I'm drunk.
Crazy. Yay, GST.
I don't know what time it is.
No, that's right. But either way, it's the Boxing Day edition. And
I just said that because that's there. I've kind of forgotten the time.
No, that's totally fine. It is the Boxing Day edition because Boxing Day traditionally is actually known for releasing films. Yes. It just so happens Boxing Day is a Thursday this year. Yeah. If Boxing Day isn't on Monday, like last year or the year before or whatever, movies premiere then. Yeah. Because they know people are off work.
The Boxing Day.
It's actually become a thing like in America, Thanksgiving, you know, like they know that time of year we're going to throw a movie at you. So we have 3 films this year. This year for Boxing Day.
Yeah, for the rest of the year we have 3 films.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. We have 3 films remaining this year, but there are a couple more internationals, but I didn't cover them this week because there's enough here for us now. Now, did you want to quickly pull up the link relating to the first one that you mentioned on Tuesday?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Beautiful. Okay, all right, now I'm going to hit you with the first one.
Yes.
Meow. It's time for cats. Calling all cat lovers, this film is not for you. Or dog lovers. All lovers of good cinema. Or anyone.
No.
Just no.
Just don't do
And that's what I wrote. Yeah. Because it looks like a piece of big turd.
Not only that, but the article that I pulled up regarding news about
Before
this
you get
film,
into that, sorry, I just wanted to say, this is a film based off the musical Cats.
And the musical Cats is very strange but fascinating but wonderful in its own merit.
Sit back for 5 minutes while he tells you about it.
I could honestly go on about it.
You've mentioned before your love for that musical and the soundtrack in particular.
Yes, the Cats musical is amazing, and the soundtrack you can find on Spotify, and it's really fun to sing along to, and the stage play is really good. It was only a matter of time before a live action or a cinematic release of Cats was going to be made, and now it's hitting our cinemas. And as we've discussed, and as you've probably seen in the episodes, that it's complete CGI motion capture with like human bipedal bodies with cat-like features. So it's really fucking weird. Apparently, people are saying that the movie is now out, and yes, it is shite.
Yeah. Okay. If you've seen the trailer to this and you know what's coming, it's literally human faces with human-shaped bodies, dressed as cats, like CGI'd to make them kind of look real, and then they're the actual size of cats as well because they're living in a human world.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's gross. I remember the first time we had this for Trailer Park.
Yes.
And it came out and we were like, I believe I wrote in my description, this looks like the best horror of 2019.
Yeah.
Because it looks some good terrifying. And the crazy thing is, this trailer came out maybe a month after the Sonic debacle.
Yes.
That came out a day later. All right, ease up. We've pushed it back. We're going to redo this and redo it traditionally and fix it. This came out and everyone was like, what is this shit? And then I made the comment, or maybe yourself, I'm not sure, just said, and they can't fix this.
No, because
they filmed it with real people.
Every single character is a motion capture suit of the animation with like cat body like pasted over the top. And that is why I don't think this ever would have worked, because when you think about it, the original script, the original play is people dressed up as cats, and that's fine because it's a play.
It's a production. It's a stage production live in front of people. What are you going to do?
This may have worked if it was something like Aristocats. Do you remember Aristocats?
Yes.
Say, for example, it's live action, but it's really animated cats, but they look like cats.
The Lion King.
Lion King remake.
Exactly. Yeah. As much as I hated that and it looked like turd, if this was that kind of animation style, all right.
Rather than
use the same voices, use the same people, that's fine.
Could you imagine cats living in our real world that looked like this, but they're like 1 foot tall? And
oh my God, I would be kicking cats everywhere. If I saw a motherfucker walk up to me and go, "Purr, I'm a fat cat," I would kick it in the face.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So the article, though, that I have for this week's news about this movie is that the movie is out.
It came out in America about just over a week ago. And
That's correct.
Came out yesterday for us. So
yes. But cinemas are have been received updated versions with some improved visual effects of a movie that has been out for a week or so. So it's hard to say whether the film is actually finished or they've turned around and said, well, there's something that still needs to be done. But like anything, there's a deadline. And once it's done, that's done.
Is it Universal?
I don't know.
Well, whoever it is, that's disgusting. From a proper production company, that's actually gross. That's disgusting.
I think it is Universal, but this doesn't really tell me.
That's disgusting. Yeah, Universal notifies.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
That's disgusting to think of the idea that Universal, a huge multi-billion-dollar film corporation, has had months since the first trailer when they got the backlash, but not only that, probably at least a year of production filming towards the end product, and then pre-production, and then they release it, they market it, and now it's out, and they're like, oh, by the way, this is a slightly better version.
Yeah.
You can't send a movie to a theater and say, hey, here's our new film that you've been advertising for months.
Yeah.
And then go, here's a better version.
No, you release what
you said, deadline.
Yeah.
That's your deadline. What you give to the theaters, that's it.
If you're not confident with that end result,
pull it.
Yeah.
100%.
But not only that, as you made reference to as you made reference to earlier in this segment where we talked about Sonic, fair enough, they were able to go back and recreate one version of a particular character and maybe a few changes here and there.
It wasn't a live-action character. That's the key.
That's right. This, they would have to... Because the motion capture has captured the motion, obviously, of every single character in this film. So for them to change the shape of the body to be more cat-like or to go full whole hog and make them like human-like, you know, it's already been done.
No, exactly.
You can't turn this around now.
Like we discussed, the only way I think they could have fixed this film, which would have taken probably another year or two, was to make it Lion King.
Yeah, to make them actual cat-like.
Get rid of the fucking face. Get rid of the literal human body. Like, have you seen a cat lie like that?
Have you seen a cat with tits?
Exactly.
They have breasts.
I know.
Fair enough, that distinguishes the males from the females, but yes.
No, but you know what else does? The voice.
Yeah.
The actions.
And the shape of the cat.
Exactly.
And the look of the cat. And
exactly.
That's the thing. Like, I have a cat. And
the name, because they were going to reference names.
Mr. Mistopheles.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So, like, and that's the thing. Like, when with cats themselves, like the actual animal itself, when we're getting down to that level.
Yeah. The pussy.
The pussy itself.
Yeah, the pussy.
The pussy itself. Every single one has its own personality.
Oh, God.
And they all have their own look and style and smell, I suppose.
Oh my God!
You know, so you don't need.
Some have more fur than others.
Some do have. Some are a bit. Some are larger. Some are smaller. Some of them can be a bit more soggy.
Oh, no! Oh my God!
Smelly cat! Smelly cat! What are they feeding you? Anyway,
in the trailer, one of them looked a bit loose. You know, like,
yeah. One of them looked a bit fat too.
Oh, rebel, calm down. But either way, we've spent way too long talking about this huge piece of crap.
Listen, I was about to go blighted.
Yes,
but I am interested.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I will not spend my money to see this at the cinema.
Yes, that's the key.
So this is neither an excited or a YASSS, sorry.
Yes.
But it's not a blighted from me because I'm intrigued for the film and I want to hear the soundtrack.
Exactly.
So one day I will watch this and I may be mortified, but I do want to hear it. So I will give this a pass.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah. I'm a blighted.
That's fine.
Because I have zero connection to even the musical. I understand what it was. I know it's a big success, but...
Who wrote the musical, though? You said this before.
What?
Who wrote the musical? First time we brought up Cats, you mentioned the person who wrote the musical.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you said, by this guy. Who was it?
Oh, yeah. So the second movie we have this one...
Damn it. Do you know? Andrew Lloyd.
Oh, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, fair enough. If I was going to guess somebody who wrote a play, it's either Shakespeare or Andrew Lloyd Webber. Like, there's two people.
Oh, yeah, so the movie Cats by Shakespeare.
Yes, exactly. It's a love story. Anyway.
Thou shalt not eat tuna.
Hey, that's a bit fishy. But moving forward, we have Jumanji, the next level. The all-star cast reprise their roles along with some new, old faces in the sequel to the surprisingly good Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah,
nothing funny about that except the fact that Danny DeVito and Danny Glover are getting fucking ripped.
Old upgrades, yeah. We've talked about Jumanji
many a time
leading up to this. So yes, this movie looks fun.
It does.
I liked Welcome to the Jungle. Like I was one of those people that were a bit what's the word I'm looking for? Skeptical.
Yeah.
Of this because I do love the original Jumanji.
You've got to admit, everybody who saw that they were doing Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle was skeptical as fuck.
Yeah.
And then it came out and it's a respectably good film.
Yeah.
Slight homage to the original, but nothing disrespectful and actually a good tale.
It's not even a sequel. It's just its own version. It's like someone else owns the same game.
It's an extension.
Fine. Yeah.
It's an extension of that.
Expansion pack.
This guy. But this one, I don't think anyone's hesitant. It's like, sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. We get it now.
We like the first one.
We trust that it's going to be fine because you're all right with that.
Yeah.
Now we've got this one. All right. Jumanji the next level.
And from some of the reviews I've seen, apparently, Dwayne Johnson playing Danny DeVito and Kevin Hart playing Danny Glover. Apparently that is really good.
I can't wait for that.
Like they don't overplay it too much.
You see snippets in the trailer and it's so good. Just seeing The Rock go,
Yeah.
And then you see
like,
Danny Glover.
My hips work. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah. But either way, this is an exciter for me because I love the I'm going to say the first one because we're ignoring Jumanji.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. This is the sequel to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes.
This one's the sequel. I'm excited for this.
Yes, I'm excited as well.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji, since the cinemas.
Oh, really?
So
I watched it, I think, maybe like twice more since then.
I own it. See, I rate how much I like a movie on whether I buy it or not, really.
Yeah, okay.
And
so you had fond memories of in the theater, so when it came out, you were like, yep, I'll take it.
Yeah, but we more bought it because Taylor really liked it.
Yeah.
It was more her than me. So I take back what I just said a moment ago because I don't know why I said it, but I'm going to give this a YASSS.
Oh, because it's not an excited then.
No, because like as I said, like I do want to see this film, but I won't be upset if I miss it.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's an exciter for me in that I think I'll find the time to go and see it, whether it's for the podcast or not.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm seeing this film.
Yeah, no, that's
seeing this film.
I love Dwayne Johnson. I like Kevin Hart. I love Jack Black.
Yeah.
And Karen Gillan is really good. She's really stepped it up over the last few years.
She's fantastic, man. And I'll tell you what, it always shocks the crap out of me seeing her in person do an interview.
Yeah, she's so
British.
Scottish.
Scottish, is it?
She's Scottish, yeah.
She's so European. I was just going to cover all bases,
She's
man.
so
She might
white.
be Italian. Yeah. But either way, yes, no, that's an exciter for me, and I guarantee this is The Rock doing Rock things.
Yeah.
I'm talking almost $1 billion club for this film.
Oh, yeah.
Easy
Absolutely.
peasy. Easy peasy.
But the reason I sort of give it a pass rather than an excited, because there is a contender on this list, which we're about to talk about,
dude,
which overtakes my excitement for the movies this weekend.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And now it is time for JoJo Rabbit.
JoJo Rabbit.
We've been waiting for this for a long time in Trailer Park, and here it comes. A World War II satire that follows a lonely German boy named JoJo, whose worldview is turned upside down when he discovers that his single mother is hiding a young Jewish girl in their attic. Aided only by his idiotic imaginary friend Hitler,
Yes.
JoJo must confront his blind nationalism.
Yes.
Dude. Tiki Wiki.
Taika Waititi. Yes.
Tiki Wiki is bringing his writing and directing and visual style and fucking acting chops as Hitler
himself
to the big screen in what is being called one of the best movies of the year.
Yes.
It's coming out 5 days before the end of the year.
The kid who plays JoJo, his name's Roman Davis, Roman Griffin Davis. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen interviews with him, like with Taika Waititi on the IMDb stage and things like that, and he seems like such a sweet young kid.
Oh, man.
But apparently, you see the trailer, and he has his other little best friend who wears the glasses. It's hard being a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like, all the children in this movie seem really well suited to the style of film, and I think that comes from the direction of someone like Taika Waititi, who does seem like such a genuinely warm-hearted man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'd love to shake his hand and have like he'll make you laugh just by being in his presence.
He seems like a guy who is literally living his dream.
Yeah.
He is just enjoying everything he's doing.
Yeah. And he gets to make the big blockbuster bombastic films, but he gets to come back for these sort of things and get the respect and attention they deserve.
What has happened in the last 12 to 24 months where he has now become a dude in Hollywood? Like, he's just out of nowhere. Was it one of the Thors or that he directed?
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. I feel like it must have been that was where everyone took notice. But like you think about it, next year he's got Free Guy coming out as well with Ryan Reynolds, and he plays the main villain. He's got this one that he just wrote and directed. And what was the one that we saw earlier this year that he was the main star in? Like there was another one that he was a main player in.
Yeah,
but either way, Taika Waititi, Tiki Wiki as we like to call him, fondly on the podcast, man, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And this movie, if you haven't seen the trailer, definitely see the trailer and you'll want to go and see this film.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm sorry, I just realized there is 2 out of 3 films this week in YASSS Pass that star Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, and that's the
gross.
Hey, she may be very good in this film.
No, she looks good in this film, not the other one.
Not
the Pussycat one. No. Yeah,
no, that's the thing with Rebel Wilson. She's either hit or miss, but she always plays the same character.
Yeah.
She's always the typical fat lady. And
but she does it with a German slang in this one. Come on, it's charming. Yeah.
But we have to point out that one of the greatest underrated actors of all time is in this movie, and I'll give you one guess. Okay, Sam Rockwell.
No, of course. If I saw it, man, of course I'm going to say Sam Rockwell.
I thought you had it open, but if you
No, I didn't. I just had my notes open. Oh, man, Sam Rockwell. I absolutely love him. If I'm going to lend you my Blu-ray of Moon.
Oh, no, you don't have to. I love that movie.
Yes. Good. Oh, that's why we do this.
He plays himself, and there's clones that recycle every however long. Yeah,
if you haven't seen Moon, this is a thirsty recommendation. Moon, okay?
Ooh,
Sam
thirsty
Rockwell
recommendations.
I know.
I forgot about that.
Call back to the past. Well, maybe New Year, New Us. I don't know.
Or
we're the same.
Yeah, we'll do something else.
We'll just get drunk and talk about revolution.
Oh, yeah. But ScarJo's in this as well.
I know. Yeah. How could we miss her? Like, that's how stacked and good this looks,
man. When I went to see the trailer, when I went to the movies to see Star Wars last weekend, I saw the trailer for Black Widow on the big screen.
Yeah.
And on the big screen, I'm like,
big bombastic colours look good.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. How did David Arbor look in that suit?
Yes.
On the big screen.
Thank you. Captain Rasher or something, whoever he is.
Oh, yeah.
No, it looks very fun.
Yeah. Awesome, man. That's good.
But JoJo Rabbit looks amazing. And as you said, like, Taika Waititi's career sort of escalated from Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. But he had a few hits here and there, but he's been in Hollywood for quite a while. He did Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yes.
He was famous for What We Do in the Shadows, which they were all very New Zealand.
I was praying you wouldn't mention that because next week for YouTube.
Okay. Anyway, but he also starred we've brought this up in the podcast recently, is that he also starred alongside Ryan Reynolds in Green Lantern. Yes. If you didn't know that, he's the quirky New Zealand
He'd probably like to forget that too.
I'm sure he would, yes.
But no, Taika Waititi, everything he's done this year, it seems like it's a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal this year. He's been a very, very busy man.
Well, he's been recognised.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Dude.
He's in the Suicide Squad.
I bet you didn't realise he was in one of the latest Rick and Morty's.
No, I did not.
Just got released this week, man.
Old Man and the
And the Mandalorian.
No. Yes, he was in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But in Tuesday's episode where we talked about the Rick and Morty, where I said Sam Neill plays a voice in Rick and Morty. Mm-hmm. The aliens in that entire episode, they're all like New Zealand, Australian voice actors. Okay,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it's amazing. And when you watch the episode, you think, how the fuck did they convince him to do this type of story? But it's Rick and Morty.
Okay. Of course that's awesome.
But yeah, Free Guy, The Suicide Squad, Thor, Love and Thunder, What If series, he's doing Korg in that. Yeah. Obviously Avengers Endgame, he wasn't a huge player in but he was on there. So yeah.
That's amazing to me. And just he's stepping it up every time. And this looks like maybe his breakthrough to he can get these kinds of movies that he writes and produces and directs, Yeah, so this is exciting for me. This is and this is definitely 2C3 Pod DTCR.
Absolutely. I give this an excited as well, because if I have to commit my weekend for a cinema experience this weekend, as I said, I'm not seeing Cats.
No.
I'm going to have to I will see Jumanji eventually, but JoJo Rabbit is at the top of my list. I've been waiting for this movie to come out since the trailers, and I love it. I can't wait.
I remember sitting down in this very room and and like we were just talking, and you were like, "Oh," I said, "What's this JoJo Rabbit?" Because you added it to the notes.
Yeah,
and he were like, "Just watch the trailer," and I'm like, "All right," and watched it and went, "Wow, that's amazing."
Yeah,
it's here. Yeah. It's here, and we're gonna see it and get used to it. In my head, I was like, "It's here. We're queer. Get used to it." But I didn't.
It's here. We're queer. Get used to it.
Oh my god! It's time for a drink, and it's time to discuss our favorite movies of the year.
So, if anybody didn't understand what you just said, it's time for a drink, and it's time to also discuss the best movies that we saw in the cinema. Of 2019,
cinema exclusive films that we saw, and I looked at the list, and I think there was only 4 out of my 35 films that I saw in theaters that weren't at Glendale.
Right.
Yes. Event Cinemas Glendale. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for the popcorn.
Yeah.
They get it. They love it. I love it. I love it.
Anyway, let's get ripping straight into... Oh, okay.
Before we do that... Sorry. No. We are ripping into it, but I just wanted to... I took the other day at work, I took a solid 20 minutes to write out this little spiel about the year in film.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, no.
If you can humour me.
Okay.
Anyway, what a year in film we've seen. Okay, this is serious. Stop. All right. Welcome to the 50th and final 2C3 pod. What a year in film we've seen. 8 films have reached the $1 billion mark, marking a new record for a calendar year, and so many more records have been smashed. We've seen the Marvel Cinematic Universe become the highest grossing film franchise ever, with over $18 billion, then $19, $20, and $21 billion. We've seen Disney become the first film studio to surpass $10 billion in 1 year. Not only did studios set records, but many films overachieved as well. Detective Pikachu became the highest grossing video game adaptation ever. Toy Story 4 set the record for the highest grossing animated film opening weekend, only to have The Lion King surpass it the following month, and then Frozen 2 beat it in November. The Lion King went on to become the fastest film to ever reach $1 billion and is now the highest grossing animated film and highest grossing remake of all time. Joker became the first R-rated film to surpass $1 billion, and of course, Avengers Endgame became the highest grossing film of all time. With those records broken and so many more too, I believe this shows that cinema is alive and well, and we are now entering a new era in film and distribution. Long live cinema, support your local theatre, and happy viewing.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I really, really like that. I really like that you drew attention to the fact that cinema is alive and well, and those results that you just read out show. Yeah, man. Fair enough, people may look at Disney as this corporate conglomerate, but they're only there to make money. And like any business, yes, they are, but they do it in a way that benefits the lives of every film fan that exists today, and young and old.
100%. And that was the purpose of that, just to say that it's not just us who have upped our viewing experiences. This is clearly across the board. And yes.
It's the result of 2 guys from Australia.
That's exactly what I was getting at. Event Cinemas Glendale, you've changed the game. Yeah. We literally have made billions of dollars. But it's not just us that have upped our experience and enjoyment. Like, clearly this is across the board. Cinema is coming back. Yeah. And cinema is getting stronger. I noted that there was 8 films this year that have made $1 billion.
Yeah, that's
the previous
massive.
record was in 2015.
Yep.
5.
Okay.
Like, so it wasn't even like they beat it by 1.
Yeah.
Like, these records have been smashed. And like I said about the animated film opening weekend.
Yeah.
Toy Story the next month, Lion King later in the year, Frozen 2. Like, these are just, they're growing. They're getting bigger.
That's the thing.
It's alive and well, and support your local theatre. That's my main point of this.
And the thing is, they just so happen to be Disney.
Yes.
But like,
it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter because they're good films. They could have been made by anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
But because of how good they are and the popularity behind them, they could have been Imagination Studios. You know, it could have been Sony, DreamWorks. Could have been DreamWorks. So, and it's funny that you bring attention to the fact that we've had a massive, massive successful year for 2019. We have also had a lot of shit movies.
That's what we'll get to shortly, talking about our films of the year. The fact that this year has been a record smashing year across the board. Like, there was more records in there. If you look them up, there are so many more records that I didn't even touch on.
Yeah.
But my God, the pieces of shit we've had to sit through.
Yes.
Like, it's incredible how many pieces of crap, and most of them sequels or remakes or reboots.
Yes.
And they have been absolute horse shit. And yet we've still got our diamonds in the rough. Like, there's some good films here. And I'll leave it up to you, man. We're going to do 5 each, okay? Yep. Like, no. I'll leave it up to you. What do you want? You want to go first or you want me to?
I'll go first.
All right. There may be some double up here, so you may have to bear with us a little bit. We're not going to spend 10 minutes on each movie discussing every point of it. We're going to just discuss what we enjoyed about it. And as far as the list goes, we both saw them, so we can discuss them a bit properly.
Well,
and again, just remember as well, we've reviewed most of these for the podcast, so we don't need to go into depth.
But the first on my list is a movie that I don't think I'm not sure whether you've seen this or not. This is a film that I saw before we started the podcast.
Okay.
And it is a sequel to a schlocky slasher horror flick. Give you one guess. Don't look at the screen.
Is it...
It came out earlier this year. I think it was February.
Horror film.
Schlocky horror. Well, the first
Conjuring
one,
2.
No, that's not 2019.
Oh, I wish it was.
Okay, so first on my list is a movie called Happy Death Day to You. So the sequel to the 2017, I think it was Happy Death Day, which was a surprisingly fun Groundhog Day-esque horror where the day repeated every time the main character died and she had to figure out why she was dying and how to stop it. Yeah. The sequel, she gets sucked right back into the same situation, but the sequel is more of a... Oh, how did I put it? I uploaded an Instagram video and one of the producers saw my Instagram video.
I know. I remember that. That was before we started the podcast. And I saw that and went, oh, that's cool.
I said it's a fun science fiction comedy sort of where they have to figure out how the fuck she got into the situation. Yeah. And the main actress, I haven't seen her in anything else. What's her name? She is absolutely brilliant in this film. Where is she? It's going to kill me that I can't find it straight away.
Click the IMDb page I've been telling you all year.
No. Like, I'll get there. But Happy Death Day to You, as I said, it's not so much a horror in this one. It's more of a sci-fi comedy.
Yes.
And they link into why she ended up in these situations. But she puts on such a really good grumpy face.
Yeah.
And Jessica Roth, is that how we pronounce her name?
Yep.
She's really good in this film, and Happy Death Day 2 is one of the best times in the cinema that I've had in 2019. So shout out to that film. It's absolutely hilarious. I love it.
I've seen it since, and it is a fantastic film, but I just didn't see it at the theatre. So that's great. And I'm glad you mentioned as well one of your best times you've had at the cinemas. I just want to make a note. We're not going for the top 5 Oscar films of the year. No. Like, I'm going off my favourite experiences.
Yes, absolutely.
Watching the film and new concepts in films like that. So, with that being said, my number 5, and I feel like it's going to be on your list.
Okay.
Possibly wrong, but either way. Brightburn.
Oh, okay. No, it's not on my list.
Okay, no, Brightburn I chucked in there at number 5. Now, Brightburn, if you weren't aware, is basically, as we very simplistically summed it up when the movie was coming out, it's basically anti-Superman.
Yes.
What would happen if Superman crashed in from Earth on the meteorite and had all Superman's powers, but was a dick?
Yeah.
And basically a bad guy, a villain. So that's why I love this film, because I'm so used to seeing either a horror about a human or like some kind of sci-fi related thing, or I'm used to seeing a heroistic heroine, saving the world.
Yeah.
I got the best of gory blood, because it was violent.
It was very violent.
Violent, and then we got a superhero comic book film. All mashed together, and it was really, really good. I had a great time with this. It was David Yarowaski and written by the Gunn brothers. But you've got Elizabeth Banks, David Denman, Jackson A. Dunn. It's really damn good, man.
Yeah.
It was great for a little low-budget horror.
Well, that's one of the things that we talked about, how the fact that it was like a low-budget horror based on a massive, massive story. It tells an alternative version of Superman. That nearly made it to my list. The only reason why it didn't is because, yes, I loved the movie, but I haven't brought myself to buy it yet. I walk past it and go, okay, maybe another day.
Yeah. See, I'm waiting. I can't wait to watch this again. When I find the time, I'm going to sit down and watch this again. Mostly for the fucking ending.
Oh, man, yeah.
Dude, that ending. If you haven't seen this yet, watch it for the ending and you're like...
Yeah.
Perfect.
There's only 3 movies on my list which have come out this year, which I haven't bought yet, only because they're not out on DVD and Blu-ray yet. Yeah. But I will. That's as I said earlier in the episode, is that I rate my movies on whether I buy them or not. So, yes, Brightburn is a great movie.
Yes.
But next on my list was one that was very much one of my most anticipated, if not my most anticipated movie of 2019.
Ooh.
Now, I'm leaving Avengers Endgame completely out of my list.
Yay, me too.
Yeah, because it's kind of a given. I fucking loved that movie.
Well, it's not just a given. It's the fact that, I feel like it achieved more in the successful part of it as opposed to the film critically.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about that.
No, we're not.
Number 4.
Number 4 on my list is, of course, It Chapter 2.
Oh, not just your most anticipated. We were basically counting down for months on the podcast for this to come around. Man, It Chapter 2.
It Chapter 2 has come around, and I haven't yet watched it again because you do have to set aside the time because it is a long film. Yeah. But I distinctly remember enjoying the shit out of this film. Yes. There are some moments which do break a bit of character from the kind of characters that they've built up for Pennywise from It Chapter 1 and carried over. Mm-hmm. But the film on a whole, I really enjoyed it. The casting of the Losers Club as adults was
my Lord.
almost perfect.
Yeah.
They played like I put that down to Ben Hanscom, the chubby kid, handsome adult.
Yeah.
He looks like the adult version of the chubby kid. They
If he was more of like a Bill Hader, like it'd be perfect, you know? like a Bill Hader, you know?
Like a Bill Hader?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like some of the reviews and commentaries that I've seen about this film since do make sense in the way that Pennywise is supposed to play off the fears of the children.
Exactly.
Bill Hader's character, they reveal very slightly that he is homosexual.
Yeah.
But who does he get attacked by? The big, tall statue man.
Exactly.
It's got nothing to do with his fear of his sexuality.
You literally, this is a 2 hour and 50-minute movie, and you're picking apart one small scene.
No. What I mean by that is that the playing off the scares, they're all in that same vein where they don't really play off the scares of the characters.
Okay, right.
Not just that particular moment, but that's just a moment that represents the scenes.
Yeah, right.
But as I said, I had a really great time with this film. It was filmed.
We both did it. It was like a packed house. It was amazing.
Yeah, I loved this film. As I said, story-wise, there's some things which I've changed my mind on, but I still had a great time with it. And It Chapter 2 will go down in history as one of my favorite horror franchises now.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
so glad it exists.
It's definitely.
I hope there's no sequels.
No. End it now. You did well. You finished up. You wrapped it up nicely. Yes. All right. Now, my number 4 is definitely on your list. It has to be on your list.
Alrighty.
All right.
Yep.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, no, it's not on my list.
Really?
Yeah, no.
How is Once Upon a Time, Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, not on your list?
Because I've got 3 other movies, which I'll get to as to why they're... And you'll understand why they're on my list.
No, of course. But surely you understand why this is on my list.
Once Upon a Time in... the reason it's not on my list is because, yes, I enjoyed it, but I didn't buy it.
Yes. No, that's fine. That's fine.
But it is a great film.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like I said, the 9th film by Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. Man, it's Tarantino.
Yeah.
It lived up to Tarantino's hype. It's almost a 3-hour film, as was It Chapter 2.
Yes.
But again, it was one of those amazing, perfect cases of sitting in a theater for almost 3 hours and not once realizing you're in a theater.
Yeah, you're enjoying yourself the entire time.
You're just engulfed in the story, and this one lived up to it. It's just the perfect example of, as he does so well, taking a real element of like real story, a truth that happened.
Yes.
And then building a pretend story around it.
Oh, man.
And in the perfect Tarantino way.
If you haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I won't spoil anything for you. But the end scene where history turns on its head.
It's perfect.
It was so great.
It's perfect.
But I know people that couldn't sit through the entire film and they walked out before that scene.
Why?
Because they probably don't quite understand of the filmmaking.
We're here, our year in review, to talk about our favourite. I don't want to hear about bitches being bitches.
No, that's okay. But what I was getting at is
I understand that. It's Tarantino. He builds to that crescendo of that final beautiful scene. But
people went to see this movie without really expecting, because it's popular, you know. But what I'm getting at is that if they stayed and witnessed the final scene,
it just all goes...
It would have brought it together for them.
It's the same with Inglourious Bastards.
Yes.
That movie's now 10 years old, but you think about that movie and the fact that where it gets to, and then the final scene of literally blowing Hitler's head to smithereens, and changing the world. Like, that's that film. This one has as much of an impact as well. And it's just Tarantino doing Tarantino things. Amazing film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's worth all of your 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Absolutely. Well, next on my list is a film I know we both very much enjoyed, and when this movie comes out, I will be buying it on Blu-ray.
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay, do you? I'll give it one guess, because you say this for my list, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, so...
It's somewhere on there, but is it Joker?
No.
Okay.
That is on my list.
Same.
Spoiler. But...
who's going to get it first? Either way. All right.
Okay, so next on my list
is... Just because you said it isn't out yet.
Next on my list is a wonderful film we got to see recently.
Is it?
What?
Nope. Okay, carry on.
Okay, next on my list is a wonderful film starring a very young actress in one of her earliest roles, the niece of a very famous Australian actor. and starring a very hilarious cast of characters in a big mansion. And it was a movie. What are you doing to me now?
Look at my number 3, you arsehole.
Yep.
Fuck!
It's a movie.
Well, this is a joint number 3 because we both had it as number 3.
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not
is a fantastic film starring Sam Weaving, who is also
Samara.
Samara. Oh, I've just saw her as Sam Weaving on Instagram.
No, I
She's
know,
great
but
on there.
I just love her.
There is she's in the next Bill and Ted.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
But also on The Babysitter from Netflix.
Yes, as you said.
Samara Weaving, up and coming. Man, this movie, there's a reason this is number 3, bro. On both of us. Like, we didn't plan this or, like, we'd discuss our lists. But Ready or Not, it's an awesome original concept horror movie.
Yeah.
Like,
would you consider it horror? Or it has horror aesthetics, but it's not really a horror film.
No, it's not, but the portions you get that are horror related live up to a horror. Like, I mean, I just sat through the piece of crap Black Christmas.
Yeah.
And one portion of Ready or Not being horror is more horror than that whole film. Like,
the internet labels this film as an American black comedy horror thriller film.
Yeah.
And I would say it is all of those things in one.
The comedy, man.
Yes.
That took me way by surprise. You saw those little bits in the trailer. So you knew you were going to get a couple of one-liners, but the consistency and accuracy of the comedy elements.
Natural in such a strange event.
Samara Weaving playing the titular character was fantastic.
Yes.
She was amazing. I haven't seen a portrayal of a damsel in distress but acting like a real person would.
Yes.
In so long.
Now, we do have a full review of our thoughts from Ready or Not on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so go there if you do want to listen to our full review of the film.
Yeah.
But Ready or Not is a film I can't wait to watch again.
Dude,
the concept is hilarious.
When you buy it, please invite me over because I can't
we'll have
wait
a movie
to see
night.
this again, man. Absolutely.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Adam Brody, Henry McKenzie, Andy McDowell, but of course Samara Weaving, who is great in Ready or Not.
Everybody played their family member characters to a T.
Yeah,
but seriously, Samara Weaving, like, it's not film of the year. It's not an Oscar winner or anything like that, but I feel like this is the film everyone will look back on, a la people looking back on Wolf of Wall Street for Margot Robbie.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like I'm not just saying that because they're both gorgeous, almost identical looking Australians.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the one where in 3 years when she's headlining acting gigs in Hollywood, they'll look back as, you know,
that's the thing. Like, this film came and went, and yes, people liked it, but nobody really talked about it so much.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised because the movie is amazing.
That's what I mean. We both came out of there and went, wow, that was amazing.
I was expecting like another pretentious comedy thriller, and it would pass the time that weekend and go, it was fun. And
we agreed.
On.
I think we agreed half-heartedly the week before for DTC. Oh yeah, we'll see Ready or Not. It looks like it might be fun. Yeah. And then we came back the next week and was like, everybody pay to see this. Like, it's fantastic. It really is. So that's why it's number 3. Now, a joint number 3. Now, you want to rip into number 2 and we'll see if we start matching them up.
Well, do you want to rip into your number 2? Because that was my
No, I know, but we both covered it.
Okay, well, next on my list is one I'm very surprised to add to this list. Now, I did see a lot of good films this year, but there's none that was quite well crafted as this film.
You saw mine. I just realized I showed you my list of the films.
I went, it is that, without actually seeing what you showed me, because I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, that's fair.
Next on my list is a film that I'm glad you talked me into seeing, actually. I didn't actually plan on seeing this, but we got to see it fairly recently.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, Christian Bale, and whoever else was in that movie. I can't quite remember right now.
No, you're right. Yes.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Yes.
I had a great time with that film.
We saw that because we were strapped for ideas that week.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it was a last-minute pick.
It was from YASSS Pass like 2 weeks prior. So, exactly. But I remember, you can go back and listen in the archives on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, Big Summer Blow, that during YASSS Pass, I was like, I'm excited for this, man. It's an award-winning film. I'm very excited to see this. And you're like, oh, yeah, I'll give it a yes, maybe.
That's right.
You were so not sold.
Yeah, because I'm just not a huge fan of car films, essentially. But this is a different type of car film, and now we do have a full review on YouTube as well, so go fucking check that out.
Oh, stop it, you.
But Ford versus Ferrari is an excellently crafted film, excellently acted film, and I had a great time with it. Even like the Coca-Cola product placement was a bit there, but
dude, you don't even notice it in the moment. I mean, we did, but
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
No, but at the same time, man, like, yeah, you can put that aside for this story. Now, as we've discussed in the past, it is zhuzhed up for Hollywood, of course.
Yes.
Of course, as they always are when it's a true story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, zhuzhed up or not, it's a fascinating story.
Yes,
it's a fascinating story.
And it's told very well.
That's right. But you mentioned Matt Damon and Christian Bale, of course, but then you've got John Bernthal.
John Bernthal, yes.
Exactly,
how could I forget? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, Josh Lucas, Noah Loop, Tracy Letts. Like, it's a fantastic cast. Like, and just the story in general, like you said. It's
Noah Jupe.
Noah Jupe. Is it? Sorry? My apologies. Yes.
Speaking of Noah Jupe, going back to Tuesday's episode where we didn't discuss this, did you see the sneak peek trailer? That was the trailer I was thinking of.
Stop yelling at me.
That was so. Obviously, we didn't include a trailer park this week, but there was a sneak peek trailer for A Quiet Place 2.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, tune in next Friday because we'll definitely be covering that in trailer park.
Absolutely,
man.
but
We're
he's
gonna
in
have
that.
That's really exciting. But
anyway.
Ford v Ferrari, there's a reason it's nominated for. Christian Bale's nominated for Best Actor at the Golden Globes coming up soon.
Absolutely.
There's a reason there's a couple more Golden Globes nominations on it. Like, it's a fantastic film, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Okay, well, now, I think you know what my final pick is, but let's go with yours. Do you have one more before we get to the big dog?
I do have one more, but my big dog is now, which is your big dog. So I'm going to flip it around and then we'll save the... I know exactly where you're going with this.
Okay.
So I'm going to flip my number one to my number two right now.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss that.
Yep.
Because I'm amazed it didn't make your list, and then we'll get to the big dog. See, you're confused. Like, what could it possibly be?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry that you missed it, okay? A very recent film.
Yes. Dead Air.
Knives Out.
Okay. No.
Wow. Hey. I'm disappointed by that reaction.
No, that's okay.
That was my number one.
Was it really?
It was my number one because we all know what number one is, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. But... Knives Out. Rian Johnson returning to form, writing and directing this amazing, my apologies, murder mystery.
Yeah.
Comedy.
It's brilliant. I did really enjoy Knives Out.
Yeah.
And I do understand why it's on your list because it almost made mine. But the only reason it didn't is because it was one of the better films this year. But
that's the point.
No, that's the thing. But we restricted it to top 5.
Yeah.
And I've got one more to go.
Yeah, of course.
And
I still fit that one in, man.
I couldn't really sort of put it alongside those films because I did like those ones so much more.
I understand.
And I had a better experience with those ones much more, but we'll get to our big dog in a moment. But yes, Knives Out, Rian Johnson, as we said, Looper, the writer of Looper, the writer of Knives Out as well, he comes back to a smaller scale mystery thriller comedy film. This is
him directing the film that he writes and being in complete control of his product. And that's where Rian Johnson thrives, 100%. Let's ignore Star Wars.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but when you have an amazing concept like this one, a murder mystery that just in the middle of the film just goes, this is what happened, and you're like, what? And then still holds your attention for over an hour.
Yeah.
Like, and still makes you go, wait, but what am I seeing here? And then the ending is so satisfying.
I think that's a testament to the cast.
Oh, I was about to say, which leads into the amazing A-list cast that you had. You had Chris Evans, Anna de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Lakeith Stanfield, Christopher Plummer, Catherine Langford, and of course, the big dog.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie, there was a reason it was number one for me, purely based on my experience at the theater watching it, because I went in there going, okay, this should be good. But I got to sit there and the highs and the lows, full attention, in depth, engrossed. I went in with no preconceived notions. Now, the reason the big dog was going to be number 2 on my list is because we went in with the expectations above everything else. And I went in there and I really was processing every moment, and it was amazing, but I didn't have as much fun. Because I was watching it critically. Whereas Knives Out, I was watching it, picking it as it went, and it was all flawless. We'll get to that.
Maybe this is where we opposite, because I went into our big dog just for the fun and it was blown away. I went into Knives Out critically.
Yeah, you were expecting this is the film that I'm going to pull apart.
I went by myself, and I was like, I had a bottle of water. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and watch a film. I did that
as well. Well, you were expecting to see a different film the time you went to go and see Knives Out.
That's right. Yes.
But Knives Out, I went in there and just had a blast.
It's perfectly
such
fine.
A fun ride, man.
You've seen it twice, haven't you?
I have seen it twice, and I'm going to take my mother, shout out Jennifer, to see it for a third time for me.
Well, you better go soon because it's been out for a while now. So,
dude, it will be there for a while because it's a successful, good film. Like, it's going to be there for a little bit longer, unlike Black Christmas.
Yeah.
But either way, I had such a blast with this. If you haven't had a chance to check out Knives Out, we have a full review on YouTube.
Yes, we do.
And it's just a hell of fun. Rian Johnson returned to form. It's a great film. The cast is amazing. Daniel Craig is just gorgeous. Everybody in this film plays it to a T.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Knives Out. So now we get down to...
Before we get to our big dog, how about we do some honorable mentions first? Because we're not going to be spending too much time on them.
No. I'm just talking literally honorable mentions. Just read them off.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You go first?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So my honorable mentions that I listed here, we have It Chapter 2, which you touched on, Ford vs. Ferrari. Dr. Sleep was my main honorable mention.
Okay, yep.
Very close to the list but I think it just came down to success was the problem with that not making a list.
Yeah.
Good Boys.
Good Boys was great.
Abominable, which you didn't see. Animation by DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon. Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. Avengers Endgame, out of respect, and Aladdin for surprising the fuck out of me.
Okay.
I can list every other one I've seen if you want, but we'll be here for a while because there's a lot.
Honorable mentions.
Those are my honorable mentions.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, my honorable mentions, I haven't actually listed them per se, but I do have a list of movies I saw this year. But first on my list is Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Because that was the first reboot of the Transformers films, which I told myself I would not pay to see, but because this wasn't Michael Bay, it was great.
Yep.
And I bought it. Really good film.
I believe it.
Alita Battle Angel, which we've mentioned earlier in a previous episode, where it's a James Cameron produced, Robert Rodriguez anime live action adaptation.
Yeah.
Really good.
That's the one with Ed Norton as the surprise villain at the end.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Nice. So that's very good. Shazam.
Yes.
Was a surprise hit. Avengers Endgame, as I said, not my top list because that was
out of respect for what it's done, it needs to be on the honorable
absolutely.
mentions. Yeah.
Brightburn would be on my list because I did like that film, but not enough to get it to my top few.
No, that's fine.
And after that, I'm going to have to say Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Fresh in your mind, yeah.
Yeah, fresh in my mind.
I'm honestly surprised after Tuesday's review, my apologies. I'm surprised that it didn't make the list.
Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker was very close to making my list.
The way you reacted to it, I was like,
because I fucking loved that movie, and you can go back and listen to that episode. But because we only left it to 5,
exactly, we had to be strict.
Let's talk about our big dog,
Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Wait, you went to see that, didn't you?
Fucking A, I did. It was amazing. Very honourable mention for Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Fantastic movie. If you have kids, force them to watch it.
Yeah. Okay, but this has to be movie of the year for Two's Company, Three's a Podcast.
And we know what it has to be.
Yeah. Joker.
Of course it has to be Joker, as every other podcast and every other news outlet is going to say.
Yes.
It is 2019's cinematic film of the year.
Yes, it was. It blew away everybody's expectations of what a Joker movie could be.
Yes.
But for me, and I think I've mentioned this over the past few weeks, it blew away my expectations of what Warner Brothers was willing to do.
Exactly.
And the fact that they're allowing these types of films to be made, that Harley Quinn, Emancipation, blah, 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 is going to be R-rated. Yeah. And they're kind of just going, do what you want with these products.
Exactly.
And they're working.
Exactly.
Todd Phillips, a guy known for his comedy.
I know. It's fantastic that they have shown, they've allowed Todd Phillips in this example to say, all right, you make what you want to make. We'll back you. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then from that, it looks like it might be spawning a new pathway for filmmakers where they go, all right, we'll trust you. We'll give you a chance. And like, dude, I'm sorry, but an R-rated film going over $1 billion?
Yeah.
Like,
and a comic
that was before Deadpool. That was almost like, no. Never going to happen. And there's been films like The Matrix and things that have been R-rated that haven't even got close.
It wasn't R-rated like Deadpool, where it was just over the top violence and swearing.
It was real.
It was real, and people felt it was going to have a real impact on society. And people are comparing it to Taxi Driver and Scorsese-like films. So this shows that there may be a future in the next decade, in the 20s of this generation, that these comic book characters may not always be the roller coaster films we're getting. That's right. We can stretch them out. We can turn them into more grounded, gritty, realistic movies and have them great. Dark Knight Rises, or Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies were kind of the first to twist the tail on its head and make them more realistic but still keeping them grittier, but still keeping them, superhero-esque. But Joker showed a completely different spin on a beloved character, and people were skeptical that was going to work, and it absolutely does, and it's come out almost on top as its own version of the Joker.
Absolutely. And I think the key for me out of this whole film experience with this new version of Joker is the fact that it's detached. We've spoken many a time about all the fans joining Easter eggs and things like that. And yes, sure enough, people know these characters.
Yes.
They know the basic storyline, but it's detached from every other DC Warner property.
Yes.
It's just its own film. And all of those ingredients, with Todd Phillips being allowed to do this, them being able to just say, yes, this is a standalone film for the time being.
Yep.
All of that, but then it comes down to Joaquin.
I'm glad you brought his name up, because there was one thing I was thinking about just a moment ago, is that sometimes you watch a movie with an A-list actor and you can't put past the fact that they are the A-list actor. Like when you watch Deadpool, you think, I'm watching Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly.
But in Joker, Joaquin Phoenix transformed his body and grew his hair out to the point where you're watching this, you don't see Joaquin Phoenix. You don't see him from Signs or from Troy or, and
you don't
her. You don't see Joaquin Phoenix. You see
Arthur
Fleck. And he plays that character so fucking well. For such a dark and gritty and semi-realistic movie, the reason this is my top pick for this year is because from start to finish, but especially the moment he becomes the Joker, kills those three men on the subway, my smile was from ear to ear. I was rooting for him the entire time.
Yeah. He's got to win the Oscar. He's got to win the Oscar.
I mean, fuck the awards, but he's got to win the Oscar.
No, exactly. That's right. Like, you can bitch and moan all day long, but as far as I'm concerned, yes, I completely agree with you. Yes. I put Knives Out based on I went to view a film and pulled it and watched it and had fun.
Yep.
This one, I went there and I got into my own head and was literally every second of every moment, I'm pulling it apart and trying to find holes. It was perfect.
Yeah.
But Knives Out, I just had a slightly more fun experience watching it. That's all it comes down to, because we're basing it top 5 films we've seen in cinemas.
Yes.
But I completely would flip-flop that any day of the week, because Joker, everything that you've said, everything we've said is just,
I don't think I've brought this up on the podcast before, but now's the perfect segue into it, because it's only going to take a minute to talk about it.
Okay.
When you're sitting there watching a film and you're watching every little moment, scene to scene, to look for the holes and the mistakes, I can't be the only person. Whenever there's glass in frame, I'm looking for the camera and the reflection.
Oh, big time.
Okay, good.
Dude, I do that with sitcoms, man.
Okay.
Oh, man, anytime there's a camera pan, near a window, I'm like,
or someone's glasses or a door handle. I'm looking for the 100%. Camera. And sometimes you see it, I'm like, haha, gotcha.
Exactly. I watched an ad I think it was when I went and saw Black Christmas. There was an ad for a beer, and it was a camera guy going through different portions of glass and window and stuff. And every time I'm like, oh, good editing. I get that. No, 100%. Man.
Okay,
100%.
good. I'm not alone on this one. Yeah.
No, but there's a reason that we both had this on our list. There's a reason this movie will be looked back on in years to come as changing the way the comic book, and not just that, R-rated films are perceived for a while, man.
Hopefully that moves into a future where we get to see more R-rated films, because in the 80s, R-rated films were the big ones, the big dogs.
That's
you had RoboCop, Predator, Terminator.
But you got your horror ones as well, the Halloweens and things of that nature. They were big.
Since then,
people got sensitive.
And they lessened the rating to fill the seats, but people are now realizing that the adults who want to see these films are the ones who fill the seats. So Joker is our biggest of the year, essentially.
Joker is 2C3 Pod movie of the year.
Absolutely. And if you want to see our full review of that, go to YouTube and you can search in Joker 2C3 Pod, Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. But that's been our final episode for 2019 before we head into the new year.
What a wild ride it has been.
Looking forward to the new games and the new movies of 2020.
Yes, we've got keep an eye out over the next week or so for a YouTube exclusive for our most anticipated films for 2020.
Absolutely.
And our favourite films of the decade.
Yes, because we've got a big bucket to fill there with movies of things that we've liked between 2010 up until now, but that's been our show.
Yeah.
You can find Two's Company, Three's a Podcast on social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 2C3 Pod.
That's right. And don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Hit the subscribe button. But we also have the podcast. Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Big summer blowout.
Now, you can support the show as well by going over to tpublic.com. Links are below. You can get yourself a TCTP 2C3 Pod, Two's Company, Three's a Podcast t-shirt, as well as My word. There's a whole bunch of stuff there you can buy.
There's a fridge magnet.
Yeah, you can get a fridge magnet, a t-shirt, a hoodie, and a mug all on there if you want to support the show in a way that gives you something in return other than the free content that we already provide.
That sounds pretty good. But also, if you wanted to contact us directly about any business inquiries, maybe you're an upstart podcast and want to use a studio, or maybe that you're a business and want to give us free stuff and we'll share your stuff.
Yeah.
Two's Company, Three's a Podcast at gmail.com.
Absolutely. Now... moving into the new year, of course, we're going to continue the same structure.
Yes.
2 podcasts every week, every Wednesday, every Friday.
Yes.
Tune in, subscribe on those platforms, and get yourself a fresh podcast every Wednesday, every Friday.
Boom. And don't forget about that. YouTube has 4 videos. Count them, 4 videos, maybe even 5 this week because of the Christmas special. So like it, subscribe, and... ring the bell. That's the one.
We got so close.
Yes. Quantity over quality.
Absolutely. But thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is Dylan, and thank you for this decade.
Yes.
Mitchell, thank you for working with me.
Oh, are you shaking my hand?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's a left hand and my microphone's got caught up. But anyway.
Thank you for working with me this year, Mitchell.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to 2020.
Looking forward to the next decade. That's right. We're going to be here for a whole lot more episodes, my friend.
Absolutely.
You are Dylan. I am Mitchell. We are Two's Company. And you, for the final time, are the pod. You. Final time for the decade. You are the podcast.
Oh, no. What did you do? Oh, no. May as well mash them all in. Okay, no, you can't. We've reacted. Okay, we commit to this. Just pop along. So, that was our original. That was it. Yep. This is the last one for just hands. Oh man. Here's to the next decade.
Do you realize that you're going to be doing this with me for another 10 years?
God damn it.
2 episodes a week, 52 weeks a year, 104 episodes a year.
Yeah.
We're looking at 1,040 episodes, bruh.
You better fucking subscribe, everybody, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Big summer blowout. Thanks for tuning into that video by Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. Don't be sad though, there's plenty more where that came from. Another cheeky video right there. Maybe even hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Or, if you don't like our faces, check us out on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube.